Hello, everyone, and welcome to class. My name is Carissa, and I'm your teacher for this hour. I'm one of your teachers for this hour. It's time for us to go ahead and begin our lesson. So when you're ready, please come on in and join me in the Hangout. Okay, very good. Welcome, Salvatore. How are you doing today?
Hi Carissa, I'm fine. What about you?
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that you're doing fine today, Salvatore. I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you very much for asking. It's a little rainy here in Costa Rica. Of course, we're in rainy season, so it rains every day. But it's
Wow.
currently raining and chilly.
Okay. It's the season rain in Costa Rica right now, teacher.
Yes, it is. It's the rainy season here, at least until December.
Okay.
And
Teacher, what? Sorry. What city do you live in Costa Rica?
I live near a town called San Vito.
San Vito.
hmm
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And and
So usually October is the rainiest month of all. So it's then usually in this month that we get flooding and sometimes mudslides. So you just have to be careful when you travel, but it's pretty wet. So
okay, I understand, teacher.
what about where you live, Salvatore? Is it rainy season right now?
No, teacher. Right now is autumn in Italy, but it doesn't rain a lot, teacher. Today, for example, it was a sunny day, 20 degrees. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yes.
So is the autumn usually a beautiful time of year in Italy?
Uh, in my opinion, autumn is my preferred season because in Italy there are many color in the tree. Yes, in the tree, in the how to say in the garden, for example, uh, color red, orange, yellow. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds like how it is in the United States. The autumn or the fall is usually a very beautiful time of year.
Yes, you're right.
Nice. So, how have you been doing with your English practicing, Salvatore? How's it going?
Oh, I'm studying English every day, teacher. Uh, I I made 2 or 3 classes per day in verbally. I I'm trying to improve my English, teacher. I'm working hard.
Very good. I'm happy to hear that. It's really nice to meet dedicated students that are really trying to improve. That's really nice, Salvatore. Keep up the great work that you're doing.
Okay, teacher. I tried.
All right. Let's welcome Carolina. Hello, Carolina. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing pretty good today, thank you. Just staying inside and dry. As I was telling Salvatore, it's pretty wet outside today. Yeah. So, what's the season right now in Brazil?
Now is spring here.
Ah, okay. So, what is it like in the springtime? Is it rainy? Is it chilly? What's it like?
uh, it's getting warmer here. The temperature is rising. I think more than 35 Celsius degrees. So it's very
Mm.
almost summer, I think.
Yeah, that sounds pretty hot.
Yes.
Do you like hot weather?
I rather summer than winter. Sometimes it's really hot, but I rather the
You
summer,
rather the heat?
the heat.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting because this year in Ohio, where I spent the summertime wasn't so hot this year. It was very pleasant. It actually didn't even feel like summertime. Yeah, I'll take that any day. All right, very good. Well, thanks for joining us here, Carolina. I'm gonna
Nice to
welcome.
see you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Alexandra, welcome to class. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Nice to have you here in class with us, Carolina. I'm sorry, Carolina. Alexandra. I'm still welcoming you, Carolina. All right, very good. Now, Alexandra, tell me once again, you're from where again?
Russia.
Ah, from Russia. Yes. Okay. Good. So, what's the season right now in Russia?
Oh, it's almost winter here.
Ah, okay. So, it sounds like you're in the fall or the autumn time, just like Salvatore.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Beautiful. Well, let's go ahead and get started. There looks like some other students will be joining us in just a bit. Today we're going to talk about phrasal verbs, and the ones that we're going to work with today, you're going to get about, let's see, you get about 15. Get about 15 new words today. Some of the words may not be so new to you. Some of the phrasal verbs, you may have heard of them before, but at least you'll get a chance to practice them a bit here in class. I found some really great activities to have you try, and then we've got some freer exercises where you'll get to express yourself using the vocabulary that we're talking about today in class. So it should be a pretty good class. All right, so we're going to work with phrasal verbs with make, live, and move. All right, now I've got some here, but let me ask you first which phrasal verbs you know using make. Can anyone tell me a phrasal verb using make?
Make out, make over.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put some of those in the chat box. Good. So make out, make over. Good. Now what does it mean to make out and to make over?
Make out is an intense kiss.
Yeah, it definitely could be used to mean an intense kiss. Yeah. A lot of times you'll hear that in movies. Yeah. Go ahead.
And it's also about deciphering.
Yeah, very good. Very good job. Okay, and what about makeover?
Makeover is usually a change for the better. So about, for example, TV shows when people go shopping, then they go to the facial, then they go to the dentist, and their appearance changes significantly, so they look way better. That's a makeover. And I think the same can be applied to houses. When you renovate the room, the house, it looks nicer, so also a makeover.
Yes, very good. Now, it's nice. It seems like on television when people get makeovers, they seem very happy with the results, and even with their homes. Has anyone here ever had a makeover, a personal makeover, or has anyone ever made over their homes, their houses? Okay.
No, I just watch on TV.
Okay, so what do you see on TV?
Some there are some programs that shows, for example, a person who has a house that is very old with problems, and then this person win a makeover of this house. This house pass for a work that
Mhm.
make it better, or
Okay.
it could be applied to a person too. That this person is ugly or is not dressing well, and then this person has help to um, cut her hair, wear clothes, something like that.
And I always wonder where do they find these extreme examples? Can't you go and cut your hair without a TV show?
Where?
So where do you find these extreme cases?
Uh,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if people purposely they don't seem like they purposely make themselves look bad. Some people just don't seem very up to date with their style. A lot of people tend to be givers. They spend their time and money helping others instead of in lieu of spending time and money to make themselves appear better. So yeah, but sometimes there are men who get makeovers. Salvatore, what do you think about that? The whole idea of getting a makeover. What do you think about it?
Sorry, Carissa, can you repeat what does it mean makeover? Sorry.
Sure, sure. Actually, I'm gonna have Carolina. Carolina, can you tell us again what does it mean to have a makeover?
Makeover is happens when a person or a build, for example, passes for a kind transformation, something that make that thing or that person look better.
Okay.
When a person change, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Ch
So.
ch
Mhm.
changing better.
Yes. Yes. So you can kind of think of a makeover as a renovation. So if you, for example, if you think of a house, maybe a house is in bad condition, it hasn't been properly maintained, and you may get money in order to fix the house up or to renovate or improve the house. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, good, good. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to share my screen with you. There are a couple of other words that I'd like to take a look at and some other different ways to, well, that's interesting. Okay, sorry about that. Just give me 1 second. I would really like to know why that's not sharing. Entire screen, Hangouts. Let's try that. Okay, that's what I want to share. Okay, let's see if you can see this. No, you can't. Mm. Hmm. Okay, sorry about that. This is the first time that I'm actually using a certain document. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry. I need to go back to what I usually use. It works better. Okay. All right, now I'm going to share screen, and then hopefully you'll be able to see what I'd like to show you. Here, let's do it that way. I love it when okay, there we go. Okay, very good. Let's just make things a little bit bigger, and then we'll go from there. Okay. All right, very good. So here are a few phrasal verbs that use the word make. Okay, now you talked about a couple of them, make out. All right, now I actually found two definitions for make out. One of them, Alexandra, was the one that you mentioned, to distinguish, or, okay, this is the third one down, make out, distinguish, manage to see something, sometimes with difficulty. Okay, so let's think of an example where that might be true. Maybe you are driving along a mountain road and it's raining and foggy. Okay, what might it be difficult to make out?
The route,
Yeah, that's right.
where to turn, or maybe a pedestrian crossing the road.
That's right. Okay, or maybe even potholes. Holes in the road, because it's darker, and if the pavement is black, then if the hole fills up with water, you may find yourself going into a hole. Yeah, you might find yourself hitting a pothole. Yeah, that's right. Excellent, excellent. Okay, let's take a look at make for. Okay, Salvatore, what does make for mean according to our definition here? Make for.
Maybe maybe means that you have to go in the right direction.
Yeah, that's right. You definitely have to go in the right direction. Okay, so that's what it is, to go in the direction of something or head for. Okay, so I could say today I make for the capital. So I'm going in the direction of the capital, or I'm heading for the capital. Okay, the capital of whatever city you might be in. Okay.
Can it be used figuratively? Like, for example, your statement does not make for the peace between us.
Okay, so it's not going in the direction of peace.
Of establishing peace between us, yes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. There are other verbs that would actually fit better there. Okay, so you could say your comment is not promoting peace between us. It is not encouraging peace, or your comment goes against our goal of making peace.
So make for is strictly about direction, physical direction.
Yeah, usually it does have to do with physical direction. Yeah, I mean, you could stretch it. It just doesn't quite sound natural. If you happen to see it in writing, then at least you'll definitely recognize what to use it for. But I don't really feel like it's common. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, now makeup. I think Salvatore mentioned makeup. All right, there's a lot of different ways that you can use makeup. The first thing that may come to your mind, well, let me ask you, Salvatore. Salvatore, when you said make up, what did you think of? What did you have in mind? Make up.
As I remember, teacher, makeup in Italy is a word that women use for prepare for make your face, teacher.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So yeah, so that's one way that you can use it, makeup. All right. But there are a couple of other ways that you can use it, as we can see here. Okay. So Carolina, can you tell us the two definitions for the phrasal verb make up here?
Let me make up. One, makeup is to invent a story and excuse you tell something that you created,
Mm-hmm.
and the other make up is to be part of something comprise. The
Uh-huh.
second, I don't know the second. I am reading and I'm trying to understand. So,
Okay, good. So let me give you an example. Okay, there
okay,
are three sentences underneath the chart. Okay, Carolina, can you read the third sentence that starts with rice?
okay. Rice makes up a large part of people's diet in Asia. Ah, okay.
Okay, so that gives you an idea. So let's see if we
Um,
can use it. Okay, so what makes up people's diet in Brazil, Carolina?
beans.
Aha.
Beans make up a large part of people's diets here in Brazil.
Aha. Now, what kind of beans? Tell us a little bit more.
Um, there are two types of beans. Brown beans and black beans are very common here. Depends on the states where you live.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, which beans are your favorite? The brown or the black ones?
The brown.
Okay. Yeah. Here in Costa Rica, beans and rice make up a large part of people's diet.
Uh-huh.
Some people eat red beans, and other people eat black beans. Some people eat white beans. I do prefer the red beans. Although black beans taste good, I find that they're a little harder to digest. Hmm. Yeah, very good. Excellent job. All right. Okay, and then make off with. All
Carissa,
right.
what about makeup? Can I substitute makeup here for account for?
Okay, give me an example.
Rice accounts for a large part of people's diet in Asia.
Okay, yeah, you could say accounts for. Uh-huh. You could use accounts for. But you also could use make up. And see, actually there's just different shades of meaning there. In this case, we're talking about comprising of, forming part, accounts for. Yes, but accounts for can also be used when you're talking about the reason for something. Okay, so if I notice that I had $100 on my kitchen table, and someone came into the house while I was gone, and when I came back, I realized that there was only $90. And then I realized that that person came in and stole $10 from me. I could say, well, that accounts for the reason or the fact that there's only $90 on my table.
Yeah, I know, like explanation.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you'll find that with English that sometimes there are words or phrases that you can use, but the challenge will be to find the one whose shade of meaning matches what you want to say. All right, so if you want to give the idea of explaining something, use accounts for. If you're simply talking about a part of something, then use make up. Okay, do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, good. It also can be used when someone invents something, in the sense that you're telling a story, something that may not be true. So on the positive side, I could say today we're going to make up a story about I don't know, about a black rose. Okay, yeah, so I could say we're going to make up a story. Now, it's not bad, okay, it's just the story isn't real, it's fiction, okay? On the negative side, I could say, I could pretend to tell a true story, and you might listen to me. For example, I may tell you a story about Russia, Alexandra. And I could say, class, this is a true story about Russia. But after you listen to the story, Alexandra, you may realize that it is not factual at all. You may say, teacher, you made that story up. Okay, it just means that I invented it and it is not true. Okay. Sometimes, for example, if I invite Carolina to dinner and I tell her that I'm going to prepare cow tongue for dinner, and I could tell you, Carolina, that the cow tongue that I prepare is delicious. It's great. You have to try it, but you may not like cow tongue, and you may not want to hurt my feelings either. So you might make up an excuse. You may say, Carissa, I'm very sorry, but, and I'm not exactly sure what excuse you would make up. What excuse would you make up, Carolina?
To don't eat?
Yes, to not come to my house for the cow tongue that I've prepared.
I will make up another meet at the same hour that was scheduled before.
Okay, so you would prepare another. I'm sorry, you would prepare another meet or another day to meet.
I would make up another meet that was scheduled before. You told me you would like to invite me.
Excuse me. So, excuse me. So you would say, Carissa, I'm sorry. But I'm typing here. I'm sorry, but I have another meeting. Because you want to use that noun, okay? But I have another meeting at the same time as your dinner. All right, so I won't be able to attend. All right, so yeah, that's an excuse. There's a reason not to come and eat my delicious cow tongue that I prepared for you. All right, we also have make off with. All right, to make off with something means to steal it or to take something without permission. Okay, and you have that first example, the first sentence. Salvatore, can you read that first sentence for me?
Yes. The thief made off with paintings worth over $1 million.
Right. So I could say the thief stole paintings worth over $1 million. I could say stole, but I could also use a phrasal verb there and say he made or she made off with paintings. Okay, I'm a big proponent of having lots of different vocabulary options in your English tool bag. That way you get some variety in what you're able to say. All right, and then you understand what others are saying as well when they use a phrasal verb. Okay, very good. So these are the 5 that we're going to work with today. Make for, make off with, make out, make up, and make up. Well, actually, there's 4. All right, good. Let's go ahead to our phrasal verb, live. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's take a look at some with live. Okay, so here we're just going to take a look at 4 phrasal verbs that have to do with live. Okay, all right, so we've got live on. We have 2 live-ons. Alexandra, what does the phrasal verb live on mean here in these examples?
Live on, eat as the main part of one's diet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I could ask you, what do you live on? Okay, and you could very well. So what do you live on, Alexandra? What is the main part of your diet? What do you eat?
I live on Cottage cheese.
Okay. Cottage cheese is good. How do you like to eat your cottage cheese? Just plain, or do you add anything to it?
Mm, I usually, well, it is supposed to be eaten with sour cream. But I usually add, well, I do it with sour cream, but I also add some slices of meat. Otherwise, I won't, I still be hungry.
Yeah, yeah. So it just would be like eating any other type of cheese. You usually have it with something. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you something interesting. I like cottage cheese with fruit, um, either with fruit like pineapple or peaches, or just plain with salt and pepper. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever had cottage cheese with meat before. Well, actually, that's not true. Sometimes you can make lasagna with cottage cheese, and the lasagna that I like has ground beef in it. Some people use cottage cheese, and other people use ricotta cheese. Okay, very good. All right, so live on. All right, Alexandra, what's the other example for live on?
Remain a memory of someone or something.
Right, and we have an example. Can you read that first sentence for me?
The memory of our honeymoon lives on in my mind.
Right, exactly. Okay, so you have a phrase. You have actually two phrases there. Lives on. Okay, and usually just like you see right after it, you have another phrase, in my mind. So you really need to say, you could say the memory of her lives on. Okay, so you could say it in general, or you can say where it lives on. Okay, so I could say the memory of our honeymoon lives on in my mind, in my heart, in my thoughts. Okay, so it's usually good to say where something lives on. Okay, very good. All right, let's see. Carolina, tell us about live through.
Live through, experience something difficult. I have to read the sentence.
Yes, if you could, if you would.
We lived through terrible times during the war.
Okay. Mhm.
It means that when you have to have to live a difficult situation that you have to deal with.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so you have a difficult experience, but you make it through. Okay, so we usually use the expression you live through it. Okay? All right, sometimes people say if they're old enough, we lived through the Great Depression, or we lived through World War I or World War II, something terrible and difficult. Okay? Yep.
Endure.
Yes, yes. Yes, you could say endured. I endured terrible times during the war. It actually, you could use endure there, but it also gives you a slightly different shade of meaning as well. It does give you the idea of enduring, but it also has a wider scope. It doesn't have the sense of just kind of suffering through it, but you may have even enjoyed some of the time. Some positive things could have happened. It's a whole experience. Yeah, so it's related to experience. Yeah, very good. Excellent. Okay, Salvatore, tell us about live up to.
Live up to, meet standards, expectations.
Hmm.
The new report is not living up to the company's expectation.
That's right. Okay. All right. So I could say he's not living up to the company's expectations, or I could say he's not meeting the company's expectations. Either one would be just fine. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. All right. So those are our four for live. Okay. And there's lots more. All right. But just for the sake of time, we're going to now move on to our phrasal verbs that have to do with move. Okay, pun intended. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm just going to have you, let's just talk about it just briefly, and then you're going to get your practice in. Okay, Alexandra, can I start with you once again? All right, tell us about move in. What does that mean?
Start living in a new home.
Yeah. Exactly. So you could move in with someone, or someone could move in with you. Okay, have you ever had that experience, Alexandra, where someone moved in with you, or you moved in with someone?
No, fortunately, no.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it works out good and sometimes it doesn't. Very good. All right, Carolina, what does it mean to move on?
Move on, forget past worries, to continue on with one's way to another place. Move on is means that you don't stop. You you move on.
Yeah.
You go. You continue your way. In spite of happening, you go.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is something that it can mean to physically move on. All
Mm,
right. So in the first example, Carolina, read that for me, please.
okay. After 2 days in the village, the traveling salesman moved on. Oh, I didn't know this other meaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can physically move on. All right.
Mm.
So, yeah, so you can physically move on. Events could move on. Weather could move on. Like, so a hurricane hit uh, one country and then moved on to another country, all right, or moved on to another area. So people and things can actually physically move on. Okay, it just means to advance or to continue on to a different place.
What's the difference from moving out?
Mm-hmm. All right, so the difference between move on and move out. Okay, so think about leaving a home.
Hmm.
Okay, so move on doesn't necessarily mean, it does mean that you continue, but it doesn't mean that you're in a house or in a place and then you move on to a different house. Okay, so usually students, young people, move out of their parents' home. Okay, sometimes, well, let me ask you, Carolina, in Brazil, when do people move out of their parents' home?
Um, Depends on, but it could happen when you go to the college, or when you graduated, or when you marry. In
Okay.
my case, I uh, moved on when I went to the college.
All right, good. So you moved out when you
I
went to
moved
college.
out.
Right. All right. Good, good. All right, Salvatore, what about in Italy? When do people move out of their parents' home in Italy? Salvatore?
Yes, sure. When get married, two people move on from house parents, or maybe when they go live in another country to get a better job.
Okay, good. All right, now there are two things I want to mention to you. All right, so a lot of times young people, I'm going to type it here in the chat box, young people move out of their parents' home when, okay, maybe when they get married, so that's what you said, when they get married, when they go to college, or when they move to another country. All right, so those are ways that you can use move out. Okay, you could also say what you mentioned something about jobs. Okay, so you could say I moved on to a better job. Okay, so I moved on to a better job. Okay, so I'm continuing. I started with one job and now I'm moving on to a different one. Okay, now we can also use this verb, this phrasal verb, when you're talking about relationships. Okay, so sometimes after a breakup, could be with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or even after a divorce, sometimes one or both of the couples, members of the couple, have a hard time moving on. All right, so they have a hard time forgetting the past. So they may be very sad and very depressed for a while, and then at some point they do move on. Okay, they just get on with their lives. Okay, it's definitely not something, if someone is recently has recently been divorced or recently experienced a breakup, you don't want to go to them right away and say, hey, you need to move on. Okay, that's probably not going to be very helpful, although people do say it sometimes. It's probably not very helpful. Okay, very good. Okay, so these are examples using move. All right, do you have any questions about move on, move out? Oh, I forgot move over, sorry. Let's see, Alexandra, tell us about moving over.
Make space for someone who wants to stand or sit next to you.
Okay. And the last example?
Can you move over? Sarah wants to join us on the sofa.
Yeah, that's right. So if you make space or make room for somebody, then you say, move over, please. Okay. Or you can say, oh, let me move over so that you can sit down. Okay. Excellent. Beautiful job. All right, now let's put some of this into practice. Okay, so here are activities. All right, so for our first set of activities, what you're going to do is complete the sentence by using the phrases that you see. Okay, so some of the phrases, I'm going to just make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, guys, this was all formatted on the other document that I had. All right, okay, so you have the phrases make up for, stay in shape, stay away, move over, feeling down, make for hiking, these goggles, and eat light. Okay, so some of the phrases we didn't talk about, but this will help me to see if you're able to just read the sentence and based on the context, fill in the correct word. Now here's an example. I don't want to come. I'm really not in the mood for hiking. Okay, so there's your example. All right, let's start with number one. Carolina, can you take number one, please?
Exercise can make you feel better if you are if you are feeling down.
Yeah, there you go. If you're feeling down, okay. Usually they say that if you're feeling down, then go out and get some exercise. Excellent. All right, let's go to number two, Salvatore.
Okay, I'm going jogging to one moment, please.
Okay.
Eat light.
Okay, so now think about the context. Okay, jogging means you're going to leave the house and you're going to go running.
Okay.
Okay, so try a different expression. Okay, why do people usually go jogging? What's the goal?
What the people usually
All right, people go jogging because, All right. Okay, can we get some help? Alexandra? Alejandra, I'm sorry. Alexandra.
Make up for. I'm going jogging to make up for all the food I ate.
Yes, you could. You could make up for all the food you ate. All right, that is an option, but actually that goes better with a different sentence. All right. It's actually one of the ones that we didn't talk about, but in context, okay, look at the ones that say stay. Should it be to stay in shape or to stay away?
To stay away all the food I ate?
You have a question in your voice. It doesn't sound like it's that one. Okay, let's try to, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. You're actually right. What you said before was right. Excuse me. I made a mistake there. That's right. To make up for all the food that I ate. Sorry about that.
Stay. That's for. I know for maybe stay in shape. No. Oh no.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I confused you. Alexandra, you were right. Okay. This is this one here. Yeah, to make up for. That's right. Excuse me. That's the correct answer, Alexandra. Excuse me. All right. Very good. I'm sorry about that. All right. Let's move on to number 3. Okay. Who are we up to? I think it's Salvatore, right? Salvatore, try number 3.
Okay. Teacher, sorry, can you remind me what does it mean make up for? I don't remember anymore. Sorry.
Sure. All right. Let's go back up to the top. To make up for. Okay. Actually, it's not here, but it means to compensate for. To compensate for. So if you eat a lot of food and you're trying to maintain your figure, okay, you better go out and do some jogging. All right. It makes up for.
Okay.
All right, good, good. All right, okay, good. Now let's go ahead to number 3. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go to number 3.
Okay. Me, teacher.
Yes, please.
It's best to. Best to. Best to. Make for.
Okay, so remember that make for means to head in the direction of something. Uh-huh.
Stay in shape.
Okay. All right, to stay in shape before doing exercise. Okay, you want to do exercise in order to stay in shape, but it's something you said earlier. Okay, let's try this one. Eat light. Okay, it's better to eat. It's best to eat light before doing exercise. All right, so you don't want to have a heavy meal before you exercise. Okay, very good. All right, Carolina, number 4, please.
I think we should that island over there. I think we should.
Carolina, I'm having a very hard time hearing you. Can you adjust your microphone a little?
Okay, it's working.
Okay. Yes, that's better.
I think we should make for that island over there.
Yeah, very good. That's right. You want to make for it or go in the direction of the island. Very good. Okay, excellent. Okay, Alexandra, number 5, please.
Stay away from the rocks. They're dangerous.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that you would see on a warning sign if you were at a beach or close to like the hidden rocks. Excellent job. All right, and let's see, Salvatore, number 6, please.
Okay, that's right. You can make out everything under water with mm, uh, everything underwater with mm, with these goggles.
That's right. Okay, with these goggles.
Goggles.
That's right. It kind of does look like the word Google, okay, but this is actually the word goggle. Very good. Okay, and then let's have the last one, Carolina.
Move over. You are in a way.
Yeah. All right. So this could be said in a playful way, or it could actually be said if you mean to be rude. All right. Okay, very good. So here are just a few examples of how to use some of the phrasal verbs that we talked about earlier, and some of them that we added in new. Okay, so you're actually getting a few more phrasal verbs. All right, we're going to continue. All right, in our next activity, all right, it actually has two parts to it. First, you're going to write questions for the answers. All right, so let's look at the first example. Okay. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Okay, so if you're not using the microphone, if you could mute it for me. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, very good. Thanks. All right, so here's your example. All right, so you have, let me just change that to make it a little bit bigger. Yep. Okay. All right, so here's the example. He could just see the river in the distance. Okay, so let's take a look at the first part in blue. So the question is, what could he just see in the distance? Okay, of course, the answer that we're looking for is the river. Okay, so you're going to come up with the question for the answer that's here. Now, the second part of it is, instead of using the verb, okay, like you see the word here, see and read, you're going to use a phrasal verb. Okay, so your question should look like this. What could he just make out in the distance? Okay, all right, so there are actually two parts to it. All right, let's try it. All right, who would like to take the first one? Okay, she experienced the revolution as a kid. All right, the underlined part will tell you what question you want. Okay, all right, so who can help me out here with the question for this answer?
Question with the phrasal verb?
Yes.
What did she live through as a kid?
Okay. All right. Okay, so you said, what did she live through as a kid? Okay. All right. Now, actually, you have your phrasal verb right. That's right. Okay. But actually, the question is asking for, it should be this. Let me show you.
As a kid, you mean?
Yes, as a kid is actually the part that you're asking about.
Okay.
Okay, so when did she live through?
When did she live through the revolution?
Yeah, there you go. All right, when did she live through the revolution? Good. Yep, it's a little challenging. You have to think about it. Very good. Nice job. All right. So the next one. Okay. Carolina, you want to try the next one?
A man in a red jacket stole Jack's wallet. Uh, who made off with Jack's wallet?
Yeah, very good. That's nice. Who made off with Jake's wallet? Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, Salvatore, the next sentence, please.
A man in a red.
I'm sorry, the next one. All the hotel guests.
All the hotel guests ran to the fire exit. Uh, uh, where did make make out? Where did make out guest?
Okay. Now you wanna make sure that you have as many words from the answer in your question. Okay, so where did, that's correct. Now who are we talking about?
Where did the where did guest
Okay. All right, now make sure that you're using all of the words. Where did all?
Oh, sorry, Carissa, I don't hear well because I hear two voice.
Okay, sorry. Alexandra, would you mind muting your microphone? Okay, thank you. All right, so you want to make sure, Salvatore, that you're using all of the words that you see in your answer in the question, as many of those words as you can. All right, so where did
all the guests make over in the hotel?
Okay, now it seems like you're adding a few more words here. Okay, so we don't want to add anything to the sentence. All right, so where did all of the guests make? Now remember, you're talking about you're talking about a direction.
Make for.
Yeah, that's it. Make
Okay.
for. There you go. All right, so you want to keep your sentence crisp. All right, so you don't want to add anything, but you want to make sure that you have parts of your answer in your question. Okay? Good, good. Let's try maybe one or two more. Okay, Alexandra, let's go back to you. Can you try the next one, please?
Jack's coming to stay with us because he's lost his job. Why is Jack moving in with us?
Yeah, very good. That's nice. Okay. All right, Carolina, the next one.
He manages not to smoke by eating more. Manages not to smoke. What?
Okay, Carolina, I'm sorry, the same thing's happening with your microphone.
Okay. Are you listening?
Yes, okay, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. He manages not to smoke by eating more. Stay. I don't know.
Okay, so let me give you a hint. All right, so this is explaining how.
How he. Okay. How he will stay away from smoke.
Okay, all right, you're close. Okay, remember with how, we need an auxiliary verb.
Okay. How How does he stay away from smoke?
Stay away from
From
smoking.
smoking.
Yeah, very good. How does he stay away from smoking? Excellent job. All right. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we are out of time. So let's see. Let me see if I can send you this. I'd like to share with you the link so that you can continue working on the handout. Let's see. That's not going to do it. Just one second. Okay, let's see if this works. Or maybe that was it. Sorry. Let's see. All right, those are the, if you want to cut and paste, I put the activities in the chat for you. This is also a link, and hopefully that link works. If it doesn't, then you have the option to cut and paste into a document. Okay? All right, very good. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here in class today. We had a nice lesson about phrasal verbs. At least it got you thinking, making questions, coming up with answers, using phrasal verbs versus another equivalent verb. So it's a very good activity. So I hope to see you very soon for our next lesson. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Carissa. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.